and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and this is the Astral Library. And look at your girl remembering to record an actual introduction for her vlog the day she's starting it. I'm just killing it now. But this is the second and final Magical Readathon reading vlog. It's about 2 o'clock on September 17th. So your girl's got not a lot of time to finish this TBR. As a reminder, here's my giant stack of books. One that got added on because of the side quest going on is Exit Strategy by Martha Wells. This is a library book. I was planning to read it anyways, but the prompt was to read something with a mirror on the cover, and I'm being a little liberal here in that I'm using the mirrored helmet that Murderbot is wearing in this cover because I don't need to add a chunky book and I don't need to add anything else to this TBR. So we're gonna go with this. There is still a mirror, just not a handheld mirror like I traditionally think of mirrored, but we have a mirrored surface. I'm counting it. So I'm gonna be reading this. I'm probably gonna start with this just because it's not that long. It's under 200 pages and these read really quickly. I also have these 3 books I need to read. So what I have left is Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation Volume 3, which is also gonna double for the quest line because I need to read a translated book, which was on my prompt list anyway, so double dipping there. I have City of Brass by Shannon Chakraborty. This is one that scares me because it's really big and I haven't started it. I'm wondering if I should try to find an audiobook for this because I did like her other book as an audiobook. I think that was done really well, but I also think I want to read it. So I'm unsure. And then the last book I have is The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I have started this. This is the book club pick for Pages in Stardust. I'm using it for the retelling prompt because this is inspired by and sort of retelling of the Arabian Nights stories. So I'm using it for that. I'm not very far in. About 100 or so pages in, 135. So I need to get started on this one more. I'm gonna have to do the thing I don't like doing, and that's reading multiple books at the same time. I am not that person. I much rather read one book at a time and finish it, but I'm slowly freaking myself out that I'm losing time. So I really just need to like hunker down and just continue each book. I'm going to try to read at least 50 pages of The Stardust Thief every night because this is the book club pick and I do have to get this done before the live show, which is actually before the month is over. So this one's got to be pretty prioritized, which, you know, join if you've read this book or you're reading along or you just want to come hang out, please do. I'm not actually sure if this video comes out before or after the live show. It's a great question. I think it comes before. I guess you'll see. If this is released before the live show, come join. If it's after, I hope you did join, or you can go watch the VOD for that because it's on the channel. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna try to read at least 50 pages a night for this, which shouldn't be too hard. 50 pages is nothing for me. And then I think I'm gonna try to finish these 2 this week. And then I'll leave all of next week to City of Brass. And that could be my dedicated book. And I can just like flip-flop between this and The Stardust Thief for however much is left of that. It is Tuesday, so I don't have the full week because I honestly just took Monday for myself. I was so tired after everything. We are diving straight back in. We're gonna finish in time, theoretically. Okay, so I think I'm going to start Exit Strategy right now, and then I'll fill you in. I think I could read this all tonight. In fact, maybe that'll be my goal. I will try to finish Exit Strategy today. And then tomorrow or tonight, depending on how quickly I finish Exit Strategy, I'm going to try to start Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation. Because this is also not a long book. It is 319 pages. And I already know this story. And it's decently sized font. So it should not take me long to get through this. Because I'm already familiar with what's going on. I just have to like absorb the words. We got this. We totally got this. I'm not worried at all. I'm going to finish the semester some way, somehow. So I'm gonna get started doing that. We can peep Dolores in the background. She's doing better. She got some of her stitches out. She's getting more stitches out next week. Anyways, I'm gonna read. I'll catch you when I have an update of either when I finish Exit Strategy or something else happens. But see you later. Hello. It is 3:35 and I'm officially over the halfway point for Exit Strategy. I'm liking this one a lot more than I was the last one. The last book felt very transitional. This is where I thought we were going next in that book, but then it was like this whole other plot that was literally just, oh, on my way back, I stumbled into this other adventure, which was fine, but that one felt really slow and it wasn't what I wanted. This one has definitely picked up the pacing and it started the action a little bit quicker. So we are finally reuniting with our crew from book 1, which was really fun. But of course, things aren't easy, and there's been a kidnapping plot that we're trying to deal with. So I just did like a little impromptu sprint on the Discord, and I got through, I want to say 50 pages by the time I started it. So I'm on page 93, which is chapter 5, which puts me at, I think 58% thinks with Storygraph instead. Halfway through it, and that's kind of true because I'm like, got that much left. I will probably try to finish this tonight just because I think the story is interesting enough to continue on, but I do have dinner with my parents that I'm going to get ready for. Not that we're going anywhere, I'm just going over to their house, but I think that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'll come back and I'll try to finish this, but I probably won't update you until tomorrow. There's a fly somewhere in here. Hello! So quick little update. I did in fact manage to finish Exit Strategy last night. I finished around 9:30 or so. So still relatively early in the evening. And I have to say I enjoyed this one a lot more because this one like finally got to the point that we've been building towards in the last 2-3 books. So it felt nice coming back and like seeing the characters from book 1 and seeing the characters from the other books also kind of pop up. So that was all cool. And we have Murderbot kind of accepting that they're gonna have friends, which yay, Murderbot, you're growing. So happy for you and to have a crew. So that's all well and dandy. My next read, I think I'm gonna try to do Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation. I have it over there. I'm not gonna go grab it this exact moment. I do have to go in and do some tutoring this evening. One of my appointments canceled, but I have 2 more. So I should be back at the house at like 8 maybe? I don't know, depending on traffic. So it shouldn't be too bad. I will say, like it's getting towards the end of the month and like things are getting busy again. I'm just kind of like, I miss summer. I feel like I was robbed of my 2 weeks of summer, which I was, being sick. I miss that. And I don't want to get back into the hell dive that is going to be my PhD program. Only so much you can do. Okay, but I just wanted to update you really quick before I went off to work. And then, yeah, other than that, everything's going smoothly. I did not get to read the Stardust Thief last night, which I knew that was going to happen. If I was focusing solely on Exit Strategy, I knew I was not going to be reading the Stardust Thief. But I'm going to try to read at least 50 pages tonight and maybe start the Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation. I might bring that with me to work because I usually get there early and I might just like sit in my car and read for a bit. Or maybe I'll read it now because I have some time before I have to go to work. It's like 2 something right now and I'm not leaving until 4:30, I think. We'll see what I do, but I will catch you later. Hello. I feel like every time, ooh, my voice just cracked. Try that again. Hello. I feel like every time you're seeing me, I'm either in my PJs, I have no makeup on, or some combination of the two. And this is no exception. I've been laying around the house and I'm not gonna go put on makeup to record a clip. It's just not gonna happen. I don't remember the last time I updated you, but progress has been made. So I have finished Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation Volume 3. I really enjoyed this volume. If you remember, I think from last Magical Readathon, I read Volume 2 and I was just like not having a fun time. It was an arc I didn't really care about. I found it boring. I felt it really slow, but this one, it started a bit slow, but then everything that happened in this one and all the moments hooked my attention, even though these books are really close to the Untamed show. So I know the entire story and not much is different. In fact, the how the story spliced together is the major difference in this. And of course that the books definitely have more of the romance in a more explicit nature, or at least more upfront about it, because the show couldn't do that because of censorship issues. Those have been the minor changes, and usually if I know the story, it's very easy for me to get bored. But this book held my attention, and there was moments where I'm just like, oh my god. And how the story was originally supposed to be told, because the show's in essentially chronological order, and this book isn't, where we're jumping back and forth between past and present. Just the way everything's set up, I wish the show was set up the same way, because the build-up, the moments that are happening in this book and what they end up being is so good. Oh my god. I wish I read this book first before watching the show, because I would have been obsessed. The twists that happen in the next couple of books are gonna hit so hard. Oh, it's gonna be so great. So great. I cannot wait. I especially cannot wait for the 5th book, because that's where all the smut is and where the romance really takes off. And I'm very excited for that, because that will be entirely new, because that was not included in the show. And I'm excited to see how the story actually ends, because Chinese dramas have really weird endings and open endings. And I believe this one has a more concrete ending. So I'm excited to see the difference between that. But I did finish this. I did really enjoy it. It's got me back in the mood for Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation. So I will probably have to pick up the next volume relatively soon. I say that almost every time, and then I put stuff off, but I'm trying, and I have the attention span and the desire to continue on with that series, where last time I was like, I don't know. But since finishing that, I've been working on The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah in past couple of days. It's been maybe 2-3 days since I finished Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation, and I finished it because on Friday I had to, I guess, babysit my friend's house, because they were moving and they're having furniture delivered, and they were busy packing up everything. So I was a person stuck in the house without internet or furniture, and I brought a book, as one does. So I finished that, and then I've been reading this one in the meantime, and I have 2 bookmarks in here currently. So I'm actually on page 252, but my goal is to get to 307 tonight. So I have another 50 or so pages. I'm not too worried. I will get to that. I am still really enjoying this story, and I'm excited for it, but the characters have been frustrating me a little bit, just because I feel like they're making dumb decisions, and that's been just the teeny tiniest bit annoying, because I feel okay, you're supposed to be these really smart badass characters, or at least one of them is, and I feel we're just making dumb decision after dumb decision. But there's mysteries afoot, and the world building's still really interesting. So I'm curious to see how the last 50% of this book is going to go. Maybe not even last 50. I think by the time I get to the page 300, I'm on the last quarter. So I'm curious to see how this is going to end, because this is a trilogy, I think. Yeah, it's a trilogy, and I don't think the 2nd book's out yet. And how my perception of these characters is going to change, because they're not my favorite. I love the concept of them, and I love the world, but their personalities haven't gripped me really, and I don't know. I want to see where this story is going to develop before I make any final judgments, but I'm enjoying what I am reading. I feel I'm going through this slower than I want, and I'm freaking myself out, because it's Sunday currently. I have a week, or rather I have a week and a day before the readathon's over, and I still have a whole other book to finish. So I want to try to finish this one in the next couple of days. Maybe do a 24-hour read on Wednesday, or not a 24-hour read. I may just read all day on Wednesday, because it's the last day I have before school starts. That will be that. I'm almost done. I have this book and then another book, and then I'm done with the readathon. I've also been doing the lore side quest in tandem with this, but I've been kind of like doubling up my prompts. Like one of them was like read a translated book, which worked for this one. And then the current step, I got the prompt where I had to read a book with immortal beings, and this book has jinns who are immortal beings. So I'm doubling up with that because I cannot handle another book being added to this TBR because I'm still so worried I'm not going to finish. And even now, I may have to have a continuation for my last book and just read that into October, which is fine. It's a made-up game. It's not gonna actually hurt me if I don't complete it in time, but I want to, okay? It's currently about 5:45. I'm taking a break from like reading this because I just can't. I did some sprints earlier. I went to Princess's sprints and that was really fun, but I'm in like the mood to like just brain off. So I might read some manhwa or webtoon for another hour or so before I have to make dinner, which I have no idea what I'm gonna do or if I'm gonna go out to eat. I don't know. But yeah, I'll catch you in another update. Hopefully, you know, when I'm a little more put together. Like, we should have some vlog clips of me actually looking nice and put together rather than in my PJs and or just no makeup on. But we'll see how it goes. Hello. Sorry if you can hear the AC in the background. The heat is kicked up a little bit. But I just want to come in here and give a quick little update in that I decided to get an audiobook for The City of Brass because I need to be reading these books in tandem and I can't physically read them both because I will just mix up these books, especially because the setting and kind of magicalness in this one is very close to The Stardust Thief in that we're both dealing with jinns in these magical worlds and relatively the same mythos. And I found that the audiobook is the same narrator as the one that did The Adventures of Mina al-Sarafi, and she was phenomenal. Like, she held my attention every second, and it's been the same way in this book. I am already super duper invested in what's going on here. I don't like Nari as much as I like Amina as a main character, but I'm still very fascinated in kind of how she's finding herself entangled in the mysteries going on, and specifically how she's getting mixed with the jinn or they don't like to be called jinn, or like this specific jinn doesn't like to be called a jinn. Devani, I think is what it was. Deva actually. I'm fascinated. I'm having so much fun with it and I'm so glad because I was a little wary of starting an audiobook for this because one, I really wanted to read Shannon Chakraborty's writing and I still might do so after I finish A Stardust Thief, but like getting to get involved in this book has been so good. It's been so nice. It's been so fun and I'm really, really enjoying it so far. I can see why everyone has like nothing but great things to say about the series because so far, and I'm not very far in, I actually just found my page of where I am in the audiobook comparatively, and so I'm about this far in, so not very far. I'm not even 100 pages. I'm like just shy of 100 pages and already invested, already here for this, already have so many questions that I want answered and just like things I need to know, and the characters are really interesting. And there's a second point of view in this book, which I wasn't expecting. And even their perspective is really interesting and really action-packed and just like so many things going on. Honestly, I think I'm liking this more than I like The Stardust Thief. Not that The Stardust Thief is bad, but I just feel like this one is better written and the plot's a little more well-paced. That's not to say Stardust Thief is bad. It's not. I'm enjoying it, but I'm very excited to get more into this one as we go on. That was my quick little update. I've spent all day in a workshop for school, so I'm tired. So I won't be listening to any more of this besides maybe a shower, but I will be listening to this as I drive everywhere this week. I have to go back to school for another workshop from 9 to 12, and then I have to drive to and from class on Thursday, so I'll get more listening time there. But I am listening on Spotify because I have Spotify Premium and they let you have 15-ish hours to listen to audiobooks. The kicker is this audiobook's 20 hours, so I'm going to have to read the last 5 hours, which I think will be fine. Luckily, on Spotify it's broken up into chapters, so it'll be really easy to find where I leave off once my time runs out, so I'm not too worried about that. And I will actually get to read her writing, which is beautifully just to listen to, so I can only imagine it's gonna be beautiful to read. But I can't do that. I can't read any of that until I actually finish A Stardust Thief, which I'm gonna read 50 more pages tonight. Which will put me, they never can end on the chapter I want, which will put me on chapter 52, which means I'll have only like this much left. And I would try to power through and finish it all tonight, but I'm kind of like brain dead. So I'll probably try to finish the last of this tomorrow because I'm only going to school from 9 to 12. Then I come back and then I have the whole rest of the day to do whatever I want. And I've pretty much prepped for my class on Thursday, so I don't need to do anything. So yeah, I will come back to you then when I have more to update you on, and maybe we'll do a little read with me. Who knows? But I'll catch you in the next update. Peep Dolores in the background there joining us for this clip. I'm sorry if you can hear the dishwasher in the background. I turned it on and it's, you know, running and doing things because I live in a house and I have to do things. It's a gloomy day, which is nice. It is also Wednesday and I am so close to finishing A Stardust Thief, which is great because it needs to be done by Saturday. I have like 50, 60 pages left. So my goal for today, this morning, and it's about 9, 10 o'clock, is to finish this last little chunk, okay? And I'm so excited to finish this book because let me tell you, listening to this book and then reading this book, so confusing because they're both dealing with the same mythos. And when I tell you my brain can't handle and can't divide some of the facts, like they both have Davenport and they both have Jins, and just like the lore and mythos are getting so mixed up in my head. I'm listening things like, oh yeah, this is like, oh, but wait, that's, no, I'm thinking of this book, and like vice versa. So I cannot wait to be done with this book so I can put it out of my mind until Saturday and focus on the lore and actual mythos of City of Brass, which has been good. I've been really, really enjoying that book. I'm now, I think I updated to like 43% last night, which means I'm on page, I just found, I'm a little past this page, but I'm roughly like I think I'm on chapter 14. I think I got to chapter 14 last night, so I'm on like 237. So I'm a good way into this book and I'm enjoying it, but I'm having a hard time trying to like keep everything straight. One, because I'm listening to the audiobook and there's just like a lot of names and a lot of like similar sounding names that I need to read it so I have the spellings to keep them differentiated in my mind. And again, just the lore. But we're gonna finish this one out today because I want it to be done, and then I only have City of Brass to worry about to finish by Monday when this vlog goes up and the Magical Readathon is, you know, done with. So I'm so close. I'm so close to finishing this. It's going to be a race against time. I'm going to finish this book and then I think I'm gonna take a small break. I think I'm like in the mood to work on the house, even though there's nothing for me to do to work on the house. Like I can't tile a bathroom by myself and I haven't chosen a paint color for my office. Maybe I'll go do that because I do need to run some errands. I might go look at swatches and pick up the sample for the hallway and do a test swipe on that. But we'll see how I'm feeling and when I finish this book. But let's go ahead and knock this book out so we'll be one step closer to finishing this vlog and finishing the Magical Readathon. It is Friday, September 27th, which means I am in the final countdown for this reading challenge. And the good news is I have finished The Stardust Thief. I did, and it's all tabbed and ready to go for the live show that is tomorrow. Exciting. But I have also been listening to City of Brass. I have not physically read it yet. I've just ran out of my 15 hours from Spotify. I'm ready to finish this puppy and I am so close. I'm on page 405 and it is 526 pages. So I have about 120 pages left. I'm so close. Let me tell you about this book though, because listening to this has been an experience because everyone in this book besides Naughty is awful. I hate them all. They're all shitty people who are all stuck in their own prejudice and their own hypocrisy, and it's been driving me crazy. So I don't think I've ever told you like what the plot of this book is. So we are following Naughty, who is a con artist and a pickpocket, and she's just been kind of living in Cairo doing her thing, trying to survive, grifting people, all that good stuff. But the thing about Naughty is that she has a gift for healing and she has a gift for languages. And so sometimes she uses that gift to, you know, help con people. Well, one day she's like going to heal this little girl and she decides to do a ritual in a different language. Unbeknownst to her, that language is actually a summoning ritual that calls forth a djinn, or as he likes to be called, a deva. And it has led her to discovering that she is potentially part djinn herself, or part deva. They call her specific race or people the Nahid, who are seen as like these deva leaders, and they can like heal and all that. And the deva who she summoned, whose name is Dada, essentially like said, okay, you have to go to Davenport to be protected, and I'm gonna guide you there because that is my mission as, I forget, I think it's like an Afshin, which is like essentially kind of like a night protector, all these things. And so Nani's been kind of like bamboozled, kind of strong-armed really, into going to Davenport to be quote-unquote safe. When I tell you all the potential love interests in this book, and just like everyone is sus. I don't trust anyone. I think everyone is shitty, and I think Nani just needs to get the fuck out of here, because my God, I was in her situation. I would scream, especially when she gets to the palace. I'm trying to keep this vlog spoiler free, but my God, do I have thoughts about this book. So many thoughts, and just listening to the audiobook, just the emotion she puts behind some of the lines. The last chapter I listened to on Spotify before my hours run out. It was such a good chapter to end on because it makes me want to pick this book up and like tear through it. Just the emotion in that scene, the heartbreak going on. Everyone in this book sucks besides Nani. I'm team Nani. Everyone else can get the fuck out of here, okay? They can leave, they can fuck off, because they all have these like hidden motivations, and they're all such hypocrites because there's this whole political intrigue going on within the Jinn and the Deva. They don't get along. They think the other side's awful, and they were at war at once upon a time, and that kind of has colored their whole viewpoint of the world. And it's so frustrating, but it's so well done because you can see how each side has like come to like have these prejudices and why they're like perpetuated as they are. But one character in particular whose perspective we also get in this book is Ali, who's a Jinn prince for the ruling family of Davenport. And I want to like him. I really do. I want to like him. He's the only one who's like semi-straight up with Nani. But he has some of the most hypocritical, prejudiced viewpoints. And it's so well done. It's so well written because he is a fighter for the underdog in this town, which are the half-human, half-Jinn people that populate Davenport. They aren't treated very well. That's his whole championship. But he does so while also perpetuating the same hate and discrimination on the Deva, which is the other Jinn, not Jinn people. And just like the way he talks about them is the same way that people talk about the Shafit. And it's so frustrating, but there's so many great scenes where he's forced to kind of like, not necessarily reconcile with it because he's still very much in his own prejudice, but just like forced to confront that, oh, I am having these hypocritical thoughts. There was this one scene between him and Dada who, it was so good. It was so good about the questions of war and what you're commanded to do during war and like how does that affect your morality? Are you a good person after doing these things if you're just following orders? What does it mean to follow orders? What does it mean to have these prejudices? It's so good. It's so good. It's so complex. I almost hate that I listened to so much of it in audiobook because it has made it hard to like grasp all the details because it's so complex and just everything that's going on and all the moving pieces and all the political kind of like aspects to it and all the names. Oh my God, there's so many names of just like the names of the races, the names of the people, and they sound so similar in audio form, and without that like how it's written on the page, I'm having a hard time like keeping track of, okay, wait, what is that again? What is this? But hopefully, I'm in like the last 30% of the book, last quarter of the book. I'm going to try my best to get myself caught up, but I am so glad I have this entire series because I can see myself wanting to binge this and finish it and just get more involved in this and see how it ends because my girl Nani needs a break. I need her to get her happily ever after, whatever that may look like. I don't know at this exact moment what that is. Team Nani all the way. She needs help. She needs to get the fuck out of Davenport. She needs to just live her life outside of these people who are demanding she beats all these things, okay? I want to finish this tonight. I don't know how likely that is because it is currently 11:30-ish. I have work from 4:30 to 8 tonight, so I probably won't get a lot of reading done after I get back just because usually I'm pretty drained and I don't want to do anything that requires a lot of mental capacity. And as much as fun as I'm having for this book, it requires a little bit of brain power, especially because I'm going to be going into this now physically reading it rather than listening to it. It's going to require just a teeny bit more, but definitely we're going to finish this book. And I'm so excited. And then I'll be done with the magical readathon. Hopefully I can still make it. Hopefully I don't put this off too far. I gotta edit this vlog. We're almost there. We can make this. We can do it. We can do it. I'm gonna go get started on those things and I'll catch you when I have another update. Either when I'm closer to finishing this book, when something happens, or when I'm done and we can close out this vlog. I did it. I've completed my TBR, which means I have finished A City of Brass, or The City of Brass, and oh my god, the last 100 pages of this, buck wild. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and then it kept going wrong further than the things could have gone wrong. It was insane. And not in the same way that the Stardust Thief like had a lot of things happen at the end. I felt like we were expecting a lot, because from the very first moments that we entered Davenport, there was just like all of these kind of things brewing, and all these characters' personalities and prejudices kind of like coming to a head, and we see the antagonism, and then it's just been brewing, and then it all comes to a head in the last 100 pages, and oh my god, so many things happen. And then the ending and the epilogue, with the little lore drop in there, I cannot wait to see how the series kind of like finishes itself, like how it concludes, because there's so many moving parts in this. It's kind of, at times it's hard to keep up with, because there's just so many like little tiny pieces and a lot of lore and a lot of backstory that is like built into every decision every character's making. And so like you have to keep all of that straight. And then you have the character motivations and all these factions and so much going on. But it's all so interesting, and I want to know what is going on, and I want to know how this is going to kind of like solve itself, and what is the solution going to look like, because we have such wildly different opinions of like what the city should look like, what the kind of political power should be, and what the responsibility and who should be in charge. So many different viewpoints, and our poor girl Naughty is just like stuck in the middle of it, and she's now in a more precarious position than ever. And that's all I'm gonna say about this, because I'm still making sure this is a spoiler-free vlog. So if you want to read any of these books, you can read them and have a lot of fun with it. But oh my god, this just got bumped up on my TBR priority, even though I am just a little bit fantasied out, or like high fantasied out after this TBR, because my god, my brain, so many informations in there, so many information just piled in between reading City of Brass and then also reading The Stardust Thief, which both are dealing with the same mythos, and then we have Exit Strategy, which is sci-fi, and then we had A Darker Shade of Magic, which is also a ton of fantasy, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, another fantasy, and we're running out of hands, A Dowry of Blood, also fantasy, and then finally, and not least, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, sci-fi. I did it. I did it. I actually read one more book than what I have here. I read Rogue Protocol. I think that's the one that comes before Exit Strategy. I had to return it to the library before wrap up happened, because, you know, someone else was waiting for it. And I'm a nice person. I return my books when I'm supposed to, because I don't want someone to be waiting for the book that they're really excited for, because I never want to wait for the books I'm excited for. And in fact, I have the next one in the Murderbot Diaries on hold right now. Gotta go grab that tomorrow probably. But yes, look at me, I did it! Ah, I thought I was gonna fail. I'm gonna be so real with you. I thought I was doomed, because normally it's in August, and August is my preferred month because I have nothing going on in August. My school starts in September, and then I have workshops going on, and just life is really busy in September. And I didn't know that I was gonna be able to do it. And woohoo! Woo, we did it. Somehow, some way, through determination and strength, I finished this TBR. And you know what? I am damn proud of having read all of these books this month, because I was coming off of a major reading slump where I just did not have the energy or bandwidth to deal with reading, and I didn't want to read anything, and everything I was reading I hated or just like wasn't enjoying. But I pushed through it, and I completed the Autumn Equinox for the Magical Readathon. Thank God, because I did not want to continue any of these books into the next month. And I can tell you, it is Saturday, so technically I have 2 more days left in August, and I'm not gonna read a goddamn thing. Not a single book, not a fan fiction, nothing. I'm just gonna brain off and enjoy some maybe TV shows or K-dramas or something that just requires less brain power than reading right now, because which is a total lie, because you know me, I'm gonna continuously reading. I'm always reading, so. But I'm actually really happy to get back into the swing of videos. I'm feeling so much better than when I started at the beginning of this month, at the end of August. I am feeling 100% back and ready to get back to starting making videos every week, so you can be expecting a video next week. No more bi-weekly videos. We're just gonna go back back to our schedule of Mondays at around like 11, 12-ish. So be on the lookout for the next video. It's gonna be the wrap up for the Magical Readathon, and I'm gonna include everything I read for August since that kind of got lost in the wayside of Magical Readathon and just being sick. But that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I hope you got your reading done. If you're doing Magical Readathon, let me know how you did. Did you finish your TBR? Are you gonna have to extend it? Are you just dropping some points and just taking the pass? What happened? Let me know. What did you love this month? What did you hate? I love hearing from you guys. I love the community we built here on this channel, and I cannot wait to hear from you guys. But that's it for me. If you like this video, please consider leaving a thumbs up and a comment down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!